Hi folks, Nathan here with the 2019 Acura MDX A-Spec. Here's a question. What is A-Spec? What the hell is it? Well, I'm going to tell you. So what is A-Spec? Well, it is basically a way for Acura to give you a more sporty vehicle, a more sporty trim, and they've been doing it since 2004. That's right, they had it with the Acura TL. So, A-Spec goes all the way back then, and back in that day, they actually had a suspension upgrade and interior with exterior, nice little goodies to make it look cool. This is very similar to that with one exception. There's nothing going on with the suspension. A-Spec, right here baby, because these headlights are dark chrome jewel eye headlights. That's what Acura calls them, and it's unique to this vehicle. So is the rest of the front end. It's a little bit different than a regular MDX. There's more to A-Spec because it's also a tire and wheel package. These are 20-inch alloy painted wheels, and they are unique to A-Spec vehicles. A-Spec is also dark glass. And it has these. Look at the size of those. That is a big exhaust pipe. I don't know if you get any extra power out of it. I don't think so. But they look cool and they sound okay. Badges? We love stinking badges. Guys, this vehicle is something that you want to parade around. You want to show your friends. So, you want the badges to be seen. And indeed, Acura delivers. Because, on the outside, just on the front fenders, there's two. One on each side. On the back of the vehicle, there's one. Then each door sill on the bottom has one. And of course, there's a little tiny one on the steering wheel. Total count, 8 badges. So this is the 3.5 liter V6 that comes standard in all Acura MDXs, puts out 290 horsepower. The thing is, even though this is a package, the A-Spec, that gives you a cooler, meaner, faster looking vehicle, you can't get the hybrid with A-Spec, and the hybrid puts out a lot more horsepower. It's kind of weird. Is it any different to drive? Nope, no difference. It feels the same to me as a regular MDX, which means it also has a couple of the problems that regular MDXs have. A cramped third row seat, this ridiculous push button transmission. This is still one of my favorite vehicles in the class, and I can overlook those. And with the A-Spec package and these really comfortable seats, it kind of makes it worthwhile, right? The other thing is, the MDX is already a great handling vehicle. It's already a fairly comfortable vehicle. So the A-Spec package is really more of something you look at to appreciate rather than you feel. Alright, so what does the A-Spec package cost you? It's $3,500. However, you can't get the package unless you have the tech package, and the technology package is $5,000. Now, there are a couple important things to know about. First of all, the technology package gives you Acura's navigation system with voice recognition, Acura Link communication system, Acura's ELS Studio package, which is a 10-speaker audio package, HD radio, blind spot information, remote start, rain sensing wipers, LED puddle lights, rear cross traffic monitors, and front and rear parking sensors. So you get a lot of stuff for the tech package, but when you combine the two, that's $8,500 above the base price. There are 5 things you need to know about the A-Spec interior because they're unique. The first is my favorite, and that's the steering wheel. It's very chunky. It feels really good in my hands. It's probably one of the best steering wheels I've ever felt in a crossover. It also has red stitching, so it looks cool as well. The other thing, which is also pretty damn cool, and that's the seats. Yes, the seats are covered in Alcantara, and they're ventilated. And they have red inserts, and they have red stitching. So they feel good, and they look cool. They have pedals in here that are covered in metal. That's right, they're actually covered in metal. And that's to look cool. That doesn't really help with performance, but you know, another thing that has a lot of metal in it is the center console. There are plenty of components there that have metal highlights. And finally, the headliner. Alright, so one of the issues that you might have with most 3-row vehicles is space. The same goes for the MDX. Follow me. You hit this button right here, and it goes forward. Actually, that works pretty good. Now I've got to get my big American ass into the back. As graceful as a gazelle. Alright, there we go. See if I can put my feet back here. I wear size 13s if you were wondering. Yeah, and then I can't even pull it all the way without taking a foot off. I think the bottom line here is that space here is really good for little kids. But there is one thing I wanted to point to. And the reason I'm back here for the A-Spec. Red stitching on the seats in the back. Pretty cool, right? Full disclosure, I used to own an MDX. It was the first generation, early 2000s version, and when I bought it, it was incredibly used. How incredibly used, you ask? Had over 100,000 miles on it from not only my neighbor, but my neighbor's mother's daughter. So it made it all the way to me, and then I sold it to my brother, and my brother sold it to somebody else after he kind of blew up the transmission twice. And when he did that, it had almost 200,000 miles on it. His neighbor, who bought it, now has 240-something thousand miles on it. Say what you want, but damn, that's pretty impressive. So, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth $56,195 as equipped? I think it's a bargain. If you consider the vehicles it goes up against from Lexus, from Infiniti, the Germans, I think it's a hell of a good price. Now let's say you don't want to pay that much. Sure, you don't need the technology package, you don't need the A-Spec package. You can get one of these for a little over $44 base price. Once again, it's a bargain. I like the vehicle, I like the way it drives, I like the way it looks, and frankly speaking, if I was in that market, this would be one of my top choices. Thank you for joining me for the Fast Lane Car. This is Nathan. Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. I'll see you next time. God bless. All right. I admit it. I've never done yoga practically in my life.